Hey guys, Skip here. I've been working with some stuff here, and I've got the Boscam goggles, the other receiver, and I finally got the video monitor to work. Um, I thought I had a problem with the receiver on the thing. I've got a RS or RC832. It's a Boscam basically 40 channel receiver, generic, but it works pretty good. It's got a good picture and stuff to it. But I wasn't getting any picture or anything on this thing. I was having some problems cutting in and out. It's like loss of signal. And then I realized I had it set on component video, and I needed to have it on the AV input. So I did that with the NTSC, and it works pretty good. Back here I've got one of the better little deals I bought at a garage sale actually. This little diehard, Sears Craftsman diehard. Platinum series. It's got an inverter, it's got chargers, it's got 12-volt duals. I can run 110 AC, in which case I'm going to run this as a normal actual TV set that has the monitor capabilities and stuff like a computer. But I've been able to hook it up with this, so I'm going to plug it in and make it work. It all runs off of this. Let's turn on our inverter. Let's see. Okay, turn on the inverter. Right now we've only got a 87% charge on that thing. Plugs over here. Got the TV plug right here too. This is great for out in the field, guys. I mean, I can run all this stuff off of plug-in adapters and stuff like that for in the house. But for anything out in the field, I can run right through an adapter or directly through 12 volts or even USB. So let's just plug this thing in. Go in. We're going to use 110 AC power here. I can actually run a high-power drill or even a sawzall off of this thing. 40 bucks I got this at a garage sale. I couldn't believe it. It was brand new. Still had the wrappers on it and just everything. Awesome. It was a good deal. In the back here, you'll notice right now it's drawing 21. I can't see that probably, but it's drawing 20 to 21 because the charger is powering the TV, which just came on, and also powering the receiver. That's only the amount of watts that it's drawing. That inverter will handle up to 400 watts, guys. So we're going to get the Inductrix going here and try out a little FPV. I'll show you the different screens and the different monitors and things that it works with. I did get them all synced into the same channel. That was a little tough doing with some of this older stuff, but it does work. It does work. And the picture's actually pretty clear. I'm actually a little impressed with this guy. I went through all the different areas in the house, testing the range and stuff like that, and very little breakup at all. Really kind of impressed. Here's our battery. Plug that in. With these little Inductrix models, you want to pull this wire way out of the side, off to the side or out of the way. Okay, because otherwise after you keep putting this thing in and out, you're going to end up cutting that wire. So lift it up a little bit, push it in, and then it should be fine. Power on your transmitter because we've already set that up. Do put the battery all the way forward on this. Seems to be a good point on it for CG. Okay, we're going to set our transmitter over here to sync in where I've got my goggles and my other monitor at. Found out what the meow switch was for, actually. In fact, I'll show that to you guys. Fires up the motors, arms them, or disarms. But in meow mode, if the thing's turned upside down, you just press this button and it turns it right back up again. In case you didn't see that, guys, here, I'll do this real quick again. Oh. Anyway, it pops it up pretty darn quick, and that time it actually rolled it over twice. I hope the camera got that. So let's take off and got to go about half throttle. Now in altitude, well, in altitude hold, play with it a little bit until it settles down. Now I'm in the house and the heat kept going on and off before, so it was kind of hard to get this thing to settle down. Get it to settle down to about where you want it, and then you cut your throttle to half. Now sometimes I tried it, I've only done this once or twice now. This is actually the second time, guys. I want to get it to settle down a little bit, and it will. One time I tried it, the only other time I tried it, I took off in, where'd it go? I took off in the second step, agility mode, not 3D, but the one that gives you a little bit more. And then I got it about where I wanted it to, and I flipped it into, come on, buddy. Anyway, once it stabilizes a little bit, guys, and you get it trimmed out, you can just go with half on the sticks, and it's supposed to hold that spot. Now, like right now, I've got it at 50% on my throttle, and it is now starting to stay right about where it's at. So now we're going to fly a little FPV. One of the cool things I like about this is it seems to be, once you get it settled in a little bit, this is going to take some practice, guys. But once you get it settled in, and it did this, the first time I did this, and it worked, it was actually pretty good. I was going to say that when this thing goes over the tables and stuff, when the altitude hold is working pretty good, it holds in altitude even over surfaces. Now if I drift off there, the motors will compensate and kick it back up, and it comes back up. Pretty close, at least anyway. I've got the heat and stuff going on in here, and the cold air return, so it's probably playing with the pressures a little bit. But let's check out a little bit of the FPV here, guys. See what I can do. I haven't flowing much FPV footage at all, guys. I got 1 minute to go. Let's give you a. Oh. Well, I suck. I'm going to need a lot of practice here. Outside would probably be a little bit more forgiving for me at first, so I'll get used to this. It says 30 seconds, but I only set the timer for 4 minutes, guys. Alright, let's just try and fly this thing. I said fly this thing.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time expired.
Good thing for the bumpers on those blades, guys. They're real forgiving. disarm the motors. Totally digging this thing, guys. I'm going to take a little more practice with this, obviously. It's going to take a little while to get the hang of, but it is definitely cool. I haven't flown one of these things, obviously, for a couple of years now, honestly, since I had my first Hudson, so give me a little break here. It's not going into low voltage yet, so let's see if we get another round here. Go check out my office. Oh, alright. 1 minute over. I'm sure we're about 5 minutes now, so probably ought to bring it on back. Oh, and we didn't even need the meow mode. It's right side up. If you guys want to see that meow mode one more time. There it is. And that's about all she wrote, guys. I can tell the battery power was going down low when I was trying to get it back. But hey, I enjoyed. This was fun, and we'll get a lot more practice with this. I'll get it outside. Got some wind and some weather and some snow and stuff going on out there right now. But if it's just windy and gusty, we'll check out what the AS3X is actually all about. You know, I mean, honestly, seriously, I wrote down a couple of things. AS3X or self-leveling. What's the difference? They all do it, right? So AS3X, you know, I don't know what that really does for it. It's just their word for it. Altitude hold. It's really cool. I like the altitude hold. What I'd like to see on this, like some of the other ones have already, is an on-screen display. I was really surprised, guys, to see that there was no telemetry on this at all whatsoever, even for the receiver. Most Spectrum products I've had, you can, with a DX9 or a computer radio, it still gives you at least receiver voltage. This one does not. The other thing I really liked about this was you can tune an expos. So I noticed at first, okay, it's a little touchy, but you can use expos on your radio on this thing, and it does not affect the flight characteristics at all. You know, unlike sometimes they recommend not using expo with AS3X or stabilized systems. Horizon Hobby Spectrum, basically. The other thing I wanted to mention was it could be a little cheaper. It's kind of high buck. I mean, with shipping and everything, this was, or tax I should say, and everything. I'm in Illinois, they're in Illinois. So it cost me $150 to get this thing, guys. It comes with one battery, nothing else. That's pretty much it. The picture's great. There is absolutely no lag whatsoever that I can really tell on this camera. And I mean, it's really, really good. Breakup, very, very little. Very, very little. I've gone all over the darn house with this thing and not found any breakup anywhere. And just little tiny strands that you'd fly through anyway, and even if I try to find them again, it's almost impossible. Yeah, on-screen display, something to show you at least your voltage or something like that, or range. That would be kind of cool. But you know, we're not dealing with a GPS quadcopter here. It's just a basic mini toy, but very advanced. I'm very impressed with the picture quality on the camera and the transmitter. Being 25 milliwatts, I didn't expect much. It goes through all the walls, the refrigerator, and everything else in my house without a problem. I'm expecting some really good range and fun with this thing. Thanks, guys, for joining me. Have a very nice holiday coming up, and we'll catch you soon. Okay, Garmin, stop recording.